Hello everyone and welcome back to another book review. Today I am going to be reviewing Malika, Warrior Queen. This is volume 2 in the series, so I read volume 1 and the review is on my channel if you're interested in it, but this is volume 2. I saw they had it in the library and decided to check it out and read it because I enjoyed volume 1. So let's jump right in. The first thing I noticed, and I noticed this about the first volume too, is at the very beginning it was a little, I don't want to say difficult to jump into, but I feel like the book gets better the longer it went on, or the comic, especially in the first volume, got better the longer it went on, and I found that to be true in volume 2 as well. The longer that the series went on, the more, the better it got, or the more engrossed in the story I got, which maybe is true for every story, but I feel like these books in particular, the first couple pages of this book, I was like, I don't really know if I remember enough, or I don't know how I feel about this. But then about halfway through, I was really enjoying it and really like engrossed in the story. So the first thing I want to point out is if you do choose to read the first volume in the series, of course, because that's going to tie into this one. But when you're reading it, make sure you like give yourself plenty of time to get into the story, because that's something that I really noticed, is it did take me a little bit of time to get into the story. Malika is kind of, volume 1 was more of a alternate history. I don't know if that's like the right word. So it's like alternate history plus superhero. This particular volume is where they're leaning heavily more into the superhero, so I think they are trying to take this in the superhero bent. Malika is a leader of a African nation, but Azaz, a West African empire, Azaz, but she was transported forward in time in the last the last comic series. So she is no longer like in charge of her empire. She's in modern day world, and she's trying to figure out her role in the world and the way that she can use her powers and her talents that she has. And she's kind of going through that superhero phase where she's trying to figure out how to use those powers and talents, not necessarily how to wield them anymore, but when does she need to get involved and when does she need to stay back, stuff like that. We're also getting introduced to more characters. A big overarching theme is there is someone who is trapped and his little minions are trying to collect, I don't know if minions is the right word. He has these powerful, for lack of a better term, bad guys who are trying to collect enough stones to like power him or free him, and they're kind of in a race with Malika to get these stones because Malika doesn't want this individual released. I think that some of the strengths of this book are the art. The colors are really fantastic in this book and just really, really well done. The characters, I like that we're getting a big cast of characters. There's a lot of returning characters from the previous volume, but there's a lot of new characters in this one that are really, really interesting. I really liked, there's 2 roommates who are living together, and I thought that the one roommate who's like a nurse, if you read the series you'll know, is really funny. I feel like there's a good mix of comedy in here, enough to where it's not a comedic series, I wouldn't say, but just enough to keep you interested and laughing a little bit. And I really like the way that Olanjin, is that what they were called? There's this group that's after the stones to free their master who's kind of imprisoned, and I think the way that they look is really cool. Here's one picture of them. They are just super cool, and they are kind of a throwback to Malika's past, and I think Malika has a lot in the series to work with regard to her past and some guilt that she has around some of her decisions that she's made, that she's kind of working with while she's trying to move forward with her superpowers. So yeah, I think they're called the Olanjin. I think they're super cool. They're really powerful. I just think their outfits are really cool and enjoyable, and yeah, the art is really cool. I think you do have to give yourself a little bit of time to get into the story, and I will definitely be looking at volume 3. So if you're looking for a West African inspired comic series about some super cool superheroes with a cool storyline, I really do recommend this. It's really nice. It gives plenty of content, plenty of stuff to look at. Great colors, would look really good on your shelf. So yeah, I do recommend. If you've read the series and have any thoughts on it, please let me know. I would love to hear about it. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.